This is job 25920. It's called Brennan Square. This is in Linwood, and it's for CWD Group. Chelsea called me out here. Benjamin Asphalt was out here too. We did a site walk. One entrance in. This is for crack fill, seal coat, stripe, and extensive power washing. And there is one little area of concrete repair and 2 asphalt areas. So as you come into the entrance, we're going to look at a little asphalt repair at a catch basin right here. And then when you take a right, there's this little road here that stops, little driveway. And on the corner, we're going to add some asphalt because cars are going off the corner, hitting the curb and gutter. So we'll fill it in with a little bit of asphalt on that corner. You could see I've highlighted all the areas of seal coating. It's roughly 58,600 square feet. That was what they had on their reserve study, and I did a measurement of it recently, and I'm going to compare what it was. I can't remember what I came up with, but I think it was something similar. This has to be done in 2 phases on the seal coat. The power washing is probably going to take, I'm guessing it's going to take anywhere from 2 to 3 days to do, because they want to power wash all the curb and gutter on this main drive going through here. They want to power wash the sidewalk that goes around the property too. It's not on both sides. In the middle, you won't see a whole lot of sidewalk in these areas through here. But then as you get down into some of these areas, you got a little bit of sidewalk that goes up. You got sidewalk that goes all the way around the perimeter here out to the front. You got sidewalk right here. So there's a decent amount of sidewalk. And then, these long stretches on the inside don't have sidewalk. But still, a lot of power washing, and they want to get them all clean. You got moss and little weeds in the cracks. So they're going to want that fixed. There's 80 feet of speed bump striping, and then there's 4-inch fire lane that goes on both sides of the road all the way around, as well as in these little areas. They've got no parking, or they've got 4-inch yellow fire lane in all these little spots. Okay, there's the main entrance that I showed you on the aerial map. Okay, and then the park, and then it goes in a huge circle, comes all the way back around out to here. Here's some of your little private drives that go in and stop. You can see the 4-inch yellow that's on both sides. 4-inch yellow is on here too, but it's super faded. There's a decent amount of crack fill in here. I'll have the crack fill quantity plugged in on Workman's dashboard. The square footage as well on the seal coat. I'll have the striping footage put in there. You can hardly see it, but there's 4-inch yellow that goes around this middle island. This is our first repair right here. It's really just a little 1 foot by 4 foot asphalt patch that goes around there. We're going to assume 3 inches in depth. Here's a lot of your sidewalk that they want power washed. We were talking about water hookup. You've got a fire hydrant that's right here. We asked about getting a permit to use the fire hydrant, and she said that might be a good idea versus trying to hook up at everyone's houses with water. So we need to plug in some extra money for a permit to use the fire hydrant during the power washing, and we're gonna need that for multiple days. I'd say 2 days would be enough, but we really want to make sure we do a good job. So we might need to put in either 3 days or 2 really long days in here, because we got to get the sidewalk that goes up and around the playground, all the curb and gutter, all the sidewalk. Okay, we don't have to do people's driveways. That's part of the HOA. We don't have to do driveways. We just have to do sidewalk and curb and gutter. And, that middle curb island, which is another curb and gutter. Okay, so the other asphalt repair is right down here. When you take a right where it says 147th Place Southwest, you got this little road that goes to the left. They'd like to fill this corner right here with asphalt. So, I mean, we're looking at maybe a 3x3 area of asphalt. We just want to take it from here, kind of do a little radius here, fill it in. We'll just pull the bark back into the landscaping here, and then take the 3 inches of asphalt and fill in this corner. So that way they're not driving off the corner and hitting that curb and gutter. Okay. You'll also see that there's tiny little no parking fire lane stencils that are 4-inch. We're gonna have to put those in. I'll have a quantity for that as well. All right. I'm gonna take you down around the corner where the little bit of concrete is. So I just came down the hill to the right, and I'm back here where certain things we looked at where there's scuff marks in the asphalt, or there was a tire mark in another area. Those areas are going to be fine. We can leave those alone. We've also looked at small little cracks like this, little cracks like this in front of, well, right here at 146 Place Southwest. You got cracks right here. Those can all stay. They're really not going to move. I don't think this winter is going to cause these to raise up and become loose. And that's the problem, is once they become loose, then it could become a trip hazard, and that's a safety issue, and then we'd have to replace the concrete. But after looking at it, we were also up where that gentleman is standing right there by those cars. There's some sidewalk there where it's starting to break in between the curb and gutter and the sidewalk, and those are going to be okay as well. We don't have to mess with those. Okay. Areas of puddling, we don't need to deal with those right now either. The asphalt's not failing, it's just collecting a little bit of water. Some areas the water will push a little bit more once we put seal coat on it. This area right here though, we've got where the concrete is missing in a wheelchair. If it goes up and catches a tire there, that, you know, could launch that person right out into the roadway. We don't want that to happen. So at 146 Place Southwest, we've got this small little area where we don't need to replace all of this, but we do need to chip out the concrete here. Okay, if we took our saw, ran the saw kind of along the edge there, we'll probably be able to pop that concrete piece out, and then we could simply fill in this area with just a little bit of concrete, and we could mix up our own bag of concrete mix and put it in there and fill that up. And that would be all we would need to do for concrete repairs. It's just that. The asphalt repairs, I showed you those. We've walked up all these roadways. We saw just typical cracking like you see right here. This is typical cracking, and it's pretty much everywhere along all the roadways. You can kind of see, you know, the reflection of some of these cracks, where some of them have been filled, some of them are new. We'll fill all of these cracks throughout the whole property on the asphalt. Here's some of that curb and gutter where we'll power wash that curb and gutter. We'll power wash the sidewalks here in the curb and gutter. And that's going to go throughout the whole property. All the little wings where there's asphalt going down, we're going to seal coat that as well. We'll stripe in some of those areas. You can't see the 4-inch fire lane on here, but there's supposed to be, I believe, fire lane along this side. Okay, now I see it a little bit. It's just really faded, but there's 4-inch yellow everywhere. Here's another spot too. So everywhere there's asphalt on both sides of the road, there'll be 4-inch yellow fire lane and 4-inch yellow no parking fire lane stencils put back where they're supposed to go. We're looking at 2 phases on the seal coating. The power washing could potentially be 2 days. It might turn into 3 days. Nah, you know what? I think it's going to be 2 days. Two long days of power washing. And maybe we look at this as doing the outer parts first, and then we try to do the inner parts of the property as a second mob. Okay, so when coordinating with the HOA, we want to try to do it that way, where we coordinate maybe doing the outside portion one day and then doing the inside portion another day, or taking a section at a time, so that way cars are out of the way, because we don't want to power wash with cars in the way and make debris flying all over the place, because there's going to be a lot of cleanup with moss and whatnot. Okay, I think that's going to do it. Any other questions, let me know. This is a video for our team plus for CWD Group.